All right, it's part 2, May 31st, 2012. HRM Caesar St. Augustine de Buonaparte, Emperor of the United States of Turtle Island. The United States of America was overthrown in October of 1996, and no one took account of it then. It was overthrown on cable access television. I'm also known as Reality Supreme Being on YouTube. The previous video today that was done at about a little over 15 minutes talked about kinetic energy being stolen from the people who are poor, who never get a chance to enjoy the fruits of their labor. That's why people work. They work with the determination and the attitude and the belief that they will be able to benefit in the future from what they've been working for or whatever goal they've been working towards. Well, when that is interfered with, those people got nothing. So the very same society they're working for is stealing from them. They're stealing their kinetic energy. So now, let's compare that to the soldiers who are fighting in Afghanistan and Iraq. Well, besides the fact that every American citizen that pays taxes is killing children with their tax dollars, the military has kept secret how many soldiers have committed suicide. Well, including the one that went to different families' places and was shooting the whole families. I think he was doing that because he was sacrificing himself, wanting people to know the truth. And the truth is that what he did is nothing compared to what they're keeping secret from you, and what they kept secret from you in Panama, and what they keep secret from you in Vietnam. I can go on talking about all of it. But who's going to collectively get up and fight against the great beast of America? You know, that's the country they're talking about. I don't believe in the Bible, but I believe the Bible has a lot of smart men that wrote it. And because the Bible was written by people, so if other religious works, people are actually get that from their mind. And anything that comes from the mind of a human being is related to quantum physics. And when you get into quantum physics, believe me, all of you have the right answer. You just don't know how to say it. And because many of you, the majority of you, are not educated in that field, you don't know what I know. And let me tell you, you don't have free will. You only think you do. And you listen to these con artists that run for office, and it's unbelievable how you fall for it over and over and over again. And that's exactly what's going to go on until the day you die. Unless you revolt like the people of France did, start chopping off heads, then they'll listen to you. So is a peaceful coup d'etat possible in the United States of evil America? Yes, it is. I've said it in my other videos. I told everybody, take your money out of the banks. One guy out of more than 6,000 people writes me and says, you really are dumb. People don't keep their money in the banks because they don't have any money. I go, well, they don't have any money because the landlords are taking it from them for them being stupid enough to pay the rent. They should all just move out into the street like I am and not pay any rent. Let the banks go suck on a lemon. The bottom line is that none of this is going to change for anything better. It only changes for those that are already set up. Listen to those key words. If you're already set up, you're not motivated. There's no motivation in you to want to make things better because you're being enticed. You're being baited by all this technology around you. You want your flat screen TV. You want you to be able to cook your stuff in your kitchen, even though the food, half the food that you're all eating is garbage, processed garbage. It's like in the movie Soylent Green. They started killing people so that they could survive. Soylent Green was eating people. It just came in a protein little bar. And why are there so many similarities in movies? Because people write them, just like Bible scholars wrote the Bible. or wrote the Koran. This all comes from the human mind. Human mind is imprinted with instructions through DNA. The DNA is ancient. It goes beyond millions of years. So, why would these soldiers continue, like I said, why so many soldiers committed suicide? Because they put two and two together. They said, when I go home, I'm not going to be able to survive. I've seen too much ugliness. I've seen too much blood and gore. I've seen babies torn apart, families blown up. I've seen so much stuff. I won't be a normal person when I go back. So they were smart enough, and I do say smart enough to say, when you've been abused like that, your only choice is suicide. Your only choice is to end it all. Now, most people won't agree with that because they think, well, there's always hope. Well, what kind of hope is there when you like me as an example, what kind of hope is there for a person who is followed from property to property, business property, commercial property, residential property, people turning each other in for the most menial reasons? Then when an earthquake happens, boom, everything's shaking and it's shaking. Then they're coming, oh, please help me, please help me, please help me. Well, you got to remember one thing. If you've done bad stuff and anonymously called on your neighbor's not going to be motivated to pull your house off the top of you. And there won't be enough fire trucks and emergency crews to help you. So you can plan on just dying. Life isn't supposed to be like this. You're not supposed to destroy people's lives. You've already done the damage to me. There is no turning back for me. There's no way I'll ever change my mind. It will always be in the negative because you stole the most precious things that I was supposed to enjoy, the fruits of my labor in my younger years, not getting old. Like that woman who won multi-millions of dollars. She's 80 years old. So, where do we go from here? How many videos do I have to record before people really, really, truly take an interest in the right course rather than the wrong course? You'd rather listen. John Lennon was right. Rock and roll is more popular than Jesus Christ. Rock and roll, heavy music, heavy metal music, punk music, rap music. That's all more popular than any religion. Even the Mexicans enjoy their Mexican music more than they listen to Jesus Christ. I guarantee. Time it. How many times do you go to church versus and listen to biblical or read Bible versus the amount of music you listen to? Oh, yeah. The answers are all there. They're all in the DNA. And once you study quantum and chaos physics enough, not only do the answers become available, they spring out at you. And when they're done springing out at you, you're left with one conclusion. I don't have a lot of time left on this earth. What do I really do? In Revelations, it mentions a country called Babylon that's destroyed in one day. Future prediction. Babylon has the same number of letters that America does. If you put the letters America and put Babylon below it, or Babylon above it, and America below it, you'll end up with an anagram. Have fun. Make up your own words. See what you come up with. Then contact me when you come up with something really great. Just off that anagram alone. In the meantime, depression sets in. Depressions that don't go away. Every time I see certain cars or trucks or a fire truck, nothing but bad memories rush through my mind. All the bad altercations that were forced on me. Well, now they're taking so much stuff from me that, yeah, I could get on a merchant steamer or tramp ship and go to other ports in the world, I guess. I don't know. Why would I want to stay here? You've taken my hobbies, my cars, my trucks, my boats, my motorhomes. You've taken everything from me. And then let's talk about relationships. What's that about? Most men and women are very spoiled in the United States. They have no idea what they want. And I guarantee if I had a whole bunch of them, I could reduce them to a tiny little creature that really doesn't know. Once I reveal all the truths about them, they don't know what the hell they want. They think they know, but they'll never know. So, but that's another argument. What do women want? What do men want? Well, obviously the answer is simple. Sex. What do they want? The right kind of sex. The woman has to have it a certain way. The guy has to have it a certain way. That's why you have 6 billion people, more than 6 billion people on the planet, because it's all sex. They can't control themselves. They're living on top of each other. They're living like cockroaches, one on top of the other. And then they pay rent on top of it to landlords to support the system. You people already know you're dealing with a whacked out system. Remember, insanity is the same thing. Practicing the same thing over and over again, thinking you're going to get better results or different results. You aren't going to get better results with this. Eventually, every one of these cars are going to be stranded on the street. There's not going to be any more fuel. Eventually, some bad crap is going to happen. And you know what? You know who set the wheels in motion on that? You people did. You set the wheels in motion because you didn't collectively get together. You didn't work together to change it in the right way. You only care about your own life. Your own life and how long you're going to live. And that your own happiness or whatever you're satisfied with, whatever life you're satisfied with is all you're interested in. And if somebody comes along and happens to be talking to you and you really enjoy it, well, that's great. That's another form of entertainment. Watch Monty Python's Meaning of Life. At the end, they're all in this restaurant. All these people have died. And the menu is talking about different things. And John Cleese hands the menu to the lady and says, what do we talk about? What do we order now? Oh, I'd like to order philosophy. And so they talk about philosophy. So that's what you care about. You care about sex. You care about naked women on YouTube. That's why things go viral on YouTube, because that's all they care about. My videos will never go viral because all it is a guy talking with cars driving back and forth behind you. And then, of course, there's our addictions. Now let's talk about addictions. Addicted to war, addicted to foods, addicted to junk foods, addicted to drugs, addicted to smoking, addicted to everything. People are addicted to the cars. You're addicted to your way of life. You're too afraid to change it. So long as someone doesn't disturb you, you're not going to say anything. That's how it works. Unfortunately, that kind of thinking will end up with nothing but pain and agony, sooner or later. So, as a presidential candidate, do I get as many views as Lady Gaga? Now, if Howard Stern did some YouTubes, I'm sure there'd be multi-millions of views. You got to have a name. You got to have a following. You got to have, you got to be the Beatles. You got to be the Stones. You got to be, I don't know, whoever. What's it all about? When are you going to really do something about it? When are you going to collectively get together with people and start to change the government? The only way you can change this government, take your money out of the banks, buy only 1 gallon of gas at a time, stop filling your vehicles with gasoline, back up the oil problem, and of course the last thing, the most important thing, send all your congressional representatives, everyone at the state, federal, or local level, and tell them you're not going to pay your taxes anymore, period. And you've got more than 100 million people that are going to do this all at the same time. I guarantee you, as soon as all of those representatives, state, federal, and local, get more than, let's say, a few hundred messages in all of their offices, they're going to go on TV and they're going to have a nice fireside chat with you like Roosevelt. Now let's talk about Roosevelt for a minute. Roosevelt was disabled. He had polio, but most people didn't know it. When they saw Roosevelt, he made a personal appearance. He was backed up by two guys. He was always in a wheelchair. The whole country didn't know he was actually a disabled man. So here's a disabled man running the country, not for 1 term, not for 2 terms, 4 terms. He died in office. Well, everybody has disabilities. I've got disabilities. This is how you treat a person with disabilities. Take his cars, his trucks, his boats, his hobbies, his research, take everything away from him and use the color of law to do it until he has nothing. And then keep him here as a prisoner. Because we are afraid of Caesar. We are afraid of this guy talking because if he gets on national news network, he's going to screw us. And you know, my president to Obama, the Congress, the state, federal, local levels, yeah, I will screw you if I get any kind of power. You have no idea how I will screw you. So your clock is running. You're running out of time. I told you, I know about events that are coming up, and some of them are worldwide. I'm not going to share them with you. Go to the devil. Live in the same blindness and the same anxiety that you did to me. And when it happens, live with it.